We just finished 72 miles plus from Hot Springs, North Carolina to Erwin, Tennessee.
We did. It was spectacular. And so the Northbound through hiker bubble is coming through right now, and so we opted out of hostel hopping this time. And we instead got a base camp Airbnb here in Erwin, Tennessee. If you're looking to stay at the same place we did, it's called the HGTV Home in Erwin, and it was great. It has 3 bedrooms and 3 baths, and there were 5 of us here. And so we shuttled to and from the trailheads each day. A couple of days we took shuttles, and Blair came along with us, and our cousin Stephen, he was with us this time too. And then when Martin finally got up here, he joined the party late, huh, Martin?
I did.
Then he was our shuttle driver, and Blair got to go back with us. And so there'll be 6 videos following this one, 1 for each hiking day. And we did a really big
21 point something.
21.6 miles is what it says on the sign. We did a really big day, sort of
Dark and rainy and scary.
Yeah, it wasn't really planned. We actually were going to do an overnighter that day, but we pushed through and did our biggest mile day yet.
Mm-hmm.
We also passed the 300-mile marker. Woo!
On the trail, yeah.
On the trail, so we've got 300 plus miles. We ended at over 350. We actually went a little bit north of Erwin. We ended at Indian Grave Gap this time. And we started at Tanyard Gap, which is a little bit north of Hot Springs. So we can't wait for you to see our videos.
Yep, and Erwin's a great little town.
It is really super cute.
They're known for their pottery, and they're super
hospitable
with no hospitals.
Yeah, there were like hikers welcome signs everywhere, like on the churches and stuff. There's a resupply, small little grocery store. I think it's called Food Lion. And then one exit up, there's a Walmart. And then
a great outfitter store too.
Oh yeah, really, yeah. Mahoney's Outfitter store in Johnson City. And we went into Johnson City and had dinner a couple of nights, and so it was so fun. I really enjoyed it. We hit a lot of milestones this time.
Yes, we did.
So I'll go over like the mileage. We always print them off. We'll go over these, what we did each day and how we shuttled back and forth between which ones had parking areas and which ones were just drop-off points. And you want to add something?
I do.
Okay, go add something, honey.
Because the main outfitter store here, closest to those getting in and off the trail, is right off of Main Street.
That's right.
Erwin, where you can have your packages to be resupplied for.
And if you want to hear a really, really sad story, Erwin, Tennessee is known for Murderous Mary, the elephant. We were traumatized by that story, but if you're bored and you want to know what Erwin is known for, you can look that up. Murderous Mary. It's a sad elephant
But now
story.
they're known for a great trail town.
Yes. We're gonna rebrand them, not from hanging elephants, but for being
Don't find elephant on the menu.
Awesome, a very awesome trail town. So we'll, at the end of this video, I'll go over what we did each day, and then there will be 6 videos to follow showing all the details and all. And it's just gorgeous on the trail right now. All the spring flowers are blooming, and we had great weather except for that 121.6 mile day was brutal. But you'll see the video footage on that too. Thanks for watching. It's hanging poor Mary over there. On day 1, we drove to Tanyard Gap, and we staged a vehicle there. And then we had a shuttle driver, Jason, picked us up and drove us to Allen Gap, and we hiked southbound back to our staged vehicle at Tanyard. It was 8.9 miles that day. On day 2, we drove to Devil's Fork Gap and staged a vehicle there. And we had Michelle, she's a shuttle driver, pick us up and drop us back off at Allen Gap, same as the day before, but this time we hiked northbound, and our goal was to get to Jerry Cabin Shelter and then stay the night. We got there about 6 p.m. and had been rained on all day long and decided to charge forward, and so we kept going, and we did the remaining 9.2 miles from Jerry Cabin all the way back down to where we had the vehicle staged at Devil's Fork. It ended up being 21.6 miles that day according to the signs at Devil's Fork, and that was the longest day we've ever had on the AT. That was kind of crazy. We hiked out in headlamps. On our 3rd day of hiking, we had Blair drop us off at Sam's Gap. So that day, Amber and Steven and I hiked, and we hiked back southbound that day to Devil's Fork, and he picked us up that afternoon there. On our 4th hiking day, Blair dropped us off at Sam's Gap, and we hiked northbound that day, 13.4 miles, and ended at Spivey Gap, and he picked us up there. On our 5th hiking day, we did 11.1 miles. We had Martin drop us off at Spivey Gap, and Blair rejoined us. So it was Blair, Stephen, Amber, and I, and we hiked northbound into Erwin, Tennessee, which was right at the Nolichucky River at Uncle Johnny's hostel. And on the last day, we hiked 8.4 miles, ended up being our 6th hiking day. We had Martin drop us off at Indian Grave Gap, and we hiked southbound back to Uncle Johnny's hostel in Erwin.